Hello everyone, welcome to Clear Perspective. I'm Serene Lee. On February 4th, voting technology company Smartmatic filed a $2.7 billion defamation lawsuit against Fox News lawyer Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, as well as hosts Lou Dobbs, Maria Bartiromo, and Jeannie Pirro in New York State Court. The company claims that these parties collaborated to wage a so-called disinformation campaign that has jeopardized its survival. The lawsuit accused them of intentionally lying about Smartmatic in an effort to mislead the public into the false belief that the 2020 presidential election was stolen from former President Donald Trump. As CNN reported, a Fox News spokesperson responded to the lawsuit with a statement saying, quote, Fox News Media is committed to providing the full context of every story with in-depth reporting and a clear opinion. We are proud of our 2020 election coverage and will vigorously defend this meritless lawsuit in court. In response, lawyer Sidney Powell said in a statement, quote, I have not received a notice of a copy of this alleged lawsuit. However, your characterization of these claims shows that this is just another political maneuver motivated by the radical left that has no basis in fact or law. Giuliani also replied with a statement, quote, the Smartmatic lawsuit presents another golden opportunity for discovery. I look forward to litigating with them. What can I say about this? There is so much drama going on every day. I would say Smartmatic is the most reliable, trustworthy, and secure voting system in the world. And the 2020 U.S. general election was the most secure and transparent election in history. You know what I mean, right? Another prominent Trump supporter who is facing pressure is Attorney Lin Wood. The State Bar of Georgia, the organization that licenses lawyers in Georgia, has opened an investigation into Attorney Lin Wood. Wood wrote in a post on Telegram last week, saying, quote, I am fighting battles on every front. The State Bar of Georgia told me today they would demand a mental health exam from me if I wanted to keep my law license. I asked what I had done wrong. I was only told it was about my social media comments, my speech. I am of sound mind and I have not violated any rule of professional conduct. In addition, the Lawyers Club of Atlanta was seeking to expel Lin Wood from the club. On February 3rd, Lin Wood sent a response letter to the president of the Lawyers Club of Atlanta with a thumb drive enclosed. The thumb drive is said to contain a compilation of some of the compelling evidence of election fraud. Besides that, the thumb drive also contains the interview of a very credible whistleblower whose statements provide substantial support for my public comments about former Vice President Mike Pence and John Roberts, the Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court. I don't know what decisions these legal organizations will make. We can wait and see. It just seems to me that there is no more free speech in America. The constitutional rights do not apply to all Americans. Whether you can enjoy the Bill of Rights depends on which side of the political spectrum you are on. Isn't it sad? On February 4th, House voted on removing Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene from two key committees for her disturbing social media posts. On February 3rd, Representative Jim Jordan said at a Fox News interview saying that
I don't think Ms. Greene should lose her committee assignments. I mean, that's never happened where the other party decides what our party or we decide what their party can have on committee assignments. That just never happened in the House. But I think the American people are tired of the double standard. We condemn all of that violence that took place on the 6th, but we also condemned everything that happened last summer. But you have Democrat members of Congress who said last summer, who said, we need more unrest in the streets, Shannon, while there was unrest in the streets. If that's not incitement, I don't know what is.
Another touching speech was given by new representative from Indiana, Victoria Sparks, on the House meeting on February 4th. Ms. Spaz was originally from Ukraine. She said,
"As someone who grew up in a communist country where people were punished for expressing their opinions, I have an enormous appreciation for our First Amendment rights. This is a core principle our nation was founded on. I might not like many things that my colleagues from both parties have to say. Sometimes I think these crazy things, but I still will vigorously defend their First Amendment rights and rights of free speech, especially what they've said as private individuals before."
I totally agree with Representative Jim Jordan and Victoria Spaz. I originally believed that criminalization of thought only happened in communist countries such as China. But today, it is happening in the United States, in the US Congress. It is not called criminalization of thought today. It's called cancel culture. No matter how you call it, it's the same in nature. On the contrary, people on the other side of the political spectrum had said a lot of shocking things. According to Sean Hannity, Congresswoman Maxine Waters escalated her attacks on former President Donald Trump this week. She demanded that the former president be charged with premeditated murder following the Capitol riots. Quote, "He absolutely should be charged with premeditated murder because of the lives that were lost for this invasion with his insurrection." Another example is Representative AOC accused Senator Ted Cruz of attempted murder. AOC has also repeatedly called on Cruz to resign over his challenge to part of the Electoral College certification on January 6. According to New York Post, in the 4 weeks since the riot, AOC has said repeatedly that she feared for her life on January 6 as a result of a very close encounter. However, rioters did not storm the building in question, which was confirmed by Representative Nancy Mace, who tweeted, quote, "My office is 2 doors down. Insurrectionists never stormed our hallway." And the journalist Jack Posobiec posted on Twitter with a map of the Capitol complex. The map highlighted the 0.3-mile distance between the Democratic lawmakers' office building and the Capitol rotunda itself. Tucker Carlson from Fox News also opposed AOC's statement on Wednesday. Tucker said, "There were no rioters in Sandy Cortez's hallway. Trump voters weren't trying to kill her, neither were other U.S. senators." Another example of double standard is Kevin Clinesmith, a former FBI lawyer. He only received 12 months of probation and 400 hours of community service for falsifying evidence submitted for a warrant to spy on Trump's former foreign policy advisor, Carter Page. The Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act FISA warrant that targeted Carter Page didn't limit the surveillance to him alone. According to the two-hop rule, communication in the first 2 circles of Page's contacts could be monitored, including texts, emails, phone calls, etc. Trump was within Page's 2 circles of contacts, so this surveillance order was actually targeting Trump, his team, and his family. But what's the result after years of investigation? The lawyer that forged the FISA warrant application merely got probation. No prison sentence, no court charges filed, no legal fees, and no one went bankrupt. Of course, there weren't any mainstream media that tried to connect the dots between the liar and the Russian spies. So the whole scam just ended with a guilty plea and the probation, that's it. Paul Sperry is the former Washington bureau chief for Investors Business Daily. He is currently the Washington bureau chief for WorldNetDaily.com. Sperry had discussed this mockery of justice when he tweeted, quote, "We no longer have government of the people, by the people, or for the people. We have government of the elite, by the elite, and for the elite. We are losing our republic to the crooks. In both parties, the people must rise up and take back their republic before it becomes a banana republic." Sperry also mentioned, quote, We now have dirty FBI agents, dirty FBI attorneys, and dirty FBI brass getting away with hard crimes. We have transparently dirty investigations, prosecutions, and sentencings. We have president candidates and presidents spied on by secret police. We have dirty elections. Everything is politicized. Above are Paul Sperry's comment. Since 2020, we have witnessed many unbelievable things that happened in the United States. We saw the U.S. Capitol was stormed by rioters. A curfew was ordered in D.C. Several top officials have resigned. Former president has been called for impeachment. All the major social media platforms has banned then-President Trump, and the CEO of Parler has been terminated, etc. This is not a conflict over presidential power transitions, nor is it a conflict between Trump and Biden or Republicans and the Democrats. What we are currently seeing is an opposition against an impending world government. Those that benefit from globalization, including multinational corporations, mainstream and social media, and the tech oligarchs. They also make up the anti-Trump force. These people are creators and the beneficiaries of globalization, collectively known as the globalist establishment force. In early January, nearly 200 U.S. business leaders issued a joint letter urging Congress to certify Biden as the president. These business leaders include the CEOs of BlackRock, KPMG, United Airlines, MasterCard, Pfizer, Goldman Sachs, Microsoft, and others. Their real identities are not American business leaders, but global elites. They also include establishments in Europe and overseas markets, such as Angela Merkel and Emmanuel Macron. And those that oppose this group include Trump's 75 million supporters, people of the middle class, small business owners, urban businesses, and factory workers. They are the people who believe in American values, traditions, and the self-evident truths declared by our founding fathers. Quote, all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Despite the corruption we are witnessing in our nation, let's have faith that these values will be restored. As said by Abraham Lincoln, quote, this nation and the God shall have a new birth of freedom, that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.